This is AV Sports Broadcasting at Tech East. We focus on sports media and live studio production. The class live streams LST games on YouTube. We also produce Overtime, a bi-weekly sportscast with highlight reels, news packages, and everything produced by students. So if you're interested in video production and editing, or if you just have a passion for sports, this class is for you. Scan the QR code to get more information, and maybe we'll see you on TV.
Looking for the new hotspot for lunch, dinner, or a quick bite? Bubba's 33 and the Colony has it all. With wall-to-wall flat screens, signature half-pound burgers, handmade, stone-baked pizzas, and the coldest beverages around. We've got what you're craving. Visit bubbas33.com for more information or to order online. Bubba's 33. Food for all.
Week here on YouTube. I'm Brendan Selke alongside my partner Dominic Varkey, and tonight we have a great state matchup between the Flower Mound Jaguars and the Hebron Hawks. So what are you seeing out of the Hebron Hawks? You're going to see out of the Hebron Hawks tonight, Dominic?
I mean, Hebron, I'm looking for, honestly, a repeat of their performance against Flower Mound a few weeks ago when they won 3-2 in what was a statement win for the Hawks.
Yeah, and then what are you seeing out of Flower Mound? Sorry for confusing you up there.
Yeah, that's all right. And for Flower Mound, I'm seeing if they can rebound from their loss against Hebron, make some adjustments, and show that they can play along like with the big teams. I mean, they've lost to Marcus, they've tied to Marcus, and they've lost to Hebron. But other than that, they've been rolling through the season.
Yeah, and then speaking on that Hebron hand, they got two skilled players in Jimison and Howard. They're going to have to be clutch tonight, come up big for this team because this is going to be a tough matchup. I mean, last time out, Hebron only beat Flower Mound 3-2, so this is going to be a tough game for both sides, and Jimison's really going to have to step up and probably score a couple goals tonight if they want to win this one.
Definitely, and that goes the same for the Flower Mound side with Cheney and Hong. If that dynamic duo can step up, this could be a great win for the Jags.
Yeah, especially with both these teams. You got a 11-2-1 record and a 14-3-1 record for Hebron. I mean, these two teams have barely lost. It's just been tough matchups at the top of districts, to say the least. I mean, it's going to be a tough, hard-fought game tonight.
Oh, for sure. I'm looking forward to it.
Yep, and we'll be right back here on LSMN Game of the Week between the Hebron Hawks and the Flower Mound Jaguars. That was good.
5, 4, 3, 2.
Thanks for watching LSMN Overtime.
This is AV Sports Broadcasting at Tech East. We focus on sports media and live studio production. The class live streams LST games on YouTube. We also produce Overtime, a bi-weekly sportscast with highlight reels, news packages, and everything produced by students. So if you're interested in video production and editing, or if you just have a passion for sports, this class is for you. Scan the QR code to get more information, and maybe we'll see you on TV.
for the new hotspot for lunch, dinner, or a quick bite? Bubba's 33 and the Colony has it all. With wall-to-wall flat screens, signature half-pound burgers, handmade, stone-baked pizzas, and the coldest beverages around. We've got what you're craving. Visit bubbas33.com for more information or to order online. Bubba's 33. Food for all.
And welcome back here to LSMN Game of the Week. We have this great soccer matchup here tonight on this Tuesday night action between Flower Mound Lady Jaguars and the Hebron Hawks. This will be a great matchup tonight, as we talked about in the open. I mean, these are third for Flower Mound and then second for Hebron in district. You know, you got to fight for a playoff spot. We know they're great in state, but at the end of the day, you got to fight for your playoff spot. It's going to be huge for playoff implication going into how they stand out and who they're going to play against.
For sure. And these next few weeks, if you're the Jags and the Hawks, like, you just try to find that stable ground and you just try to cruise into the playoffs. I mean, it's worked all season so far. Both teams look like they're virtually a lock to make the playoffs. So right now you cruise in, you try even drop some new plays, figure out what to do, and come playoff time, hopefully you start steamrolling.
Yeah, use that momentum and carry it into the playoffs. Do exactly that. And then as they just finished up, it was Teacher Appreciation Night here at Flower Mound Stadium, as they thanked all their wonderful teachers there at Flower Mound High School. So that was great to see, of course, as they just finished that, as both teams head onto the field tonight. I mean, as we speak down on the open, you get stars all over the field. I mean, you have Jalen Channing, who scores 19 goals for Flower Mound this year. She's their leading goal scorer by a landslide, pretty much. And then you have Jimison on the other side, alongside Howard, who combined for 31 goals for Hebron. I mean, just goal scoring galore on both sides of the teams.
For sure. And what I think is the most impressive is that Jalen Chaney is only a sophomore. So Flower Mound's going to have 2 more amazing years of her service. And if you're a Jag, you got to be excited for what the Lady Jags will bring for the next few seasons.
Yeah, especially when both these teams have been dominant for a very long time. As kickoff gets underway here, as Flower Mound's just going to cycle it back around here. But yeah, as you're speaking about, I mean, these two programs are very talented. I mean, you have Flower Mound, who went pretty far in the playoffs last year. He went out early, but of course had a good season, as Flower Mound looks to play off the counter here. Work off quick and bounce it outside to Hong, who puts a good ball in, but can't find a Flower Mound head. And kind of just ricochets off the ref there, as the ref can't get out of the way. We're going to decide to do a drop kick here for Flower Mound. Give him possession. I'm in Hebron. And that kind of bit of a miscommunication there, as Hayes can't find her defensive partner. It's going to be a Flower Mound throw in here, as we get about a minute in to this one. So, Dominic, what are you going to want to see out of Hebron tonight to be successful? Like, of course, these are 2 very talented teams. So, what are you going to want to see on their end to try and come out and win this one?
What I want to see out of Hebron, exactly what they've been doing all season. I mean, they are one of the top teams in the state, and for a good reason. They are a well-rounded soccer team. I don't think they need to do anything too special. I mean, they did beat Flower Mound 3-2. However, with it being in a away setting, you got to wonder if that's going to play into anything.
Yep, as they get off the rush here. And that's a great ball inside. It kicks off this leg here, but a great defensive play there by Flower Mound, as Geekus makes a good play to clear that one out and shut down that opportunity off the counter, as both teams early seem to be working off the counter here.
For sure. And, I mean, so far it looks pretty aggressive. I mean, I love the aggression that's already coming. Both teams, they really want this win, and they both know what this win could mean.
Yeah.
So their playoff push and throughout the rest of their season.
Yeah, high implications in this one for sure, going into the playoffs. And, of course, you got 2 top teams in the state. It's a great thing about LASD sports is our soccer teams are great, even on the men's side and the girls' side. They're always competing up in the state rankings. And, of course, district is always tight. Some 2 great teams, always.
Yeah, speaking of the boys, Flower Mound and Hebron, their boys' teams are playing tonight in what is going to be the game of the week amongst the state of Texas within the coaches.
It's going to be great to see as Hebron takes this kick here. It's a good strike, and it just goes over the top of the net. It is a great strike there by Hebron. It just kind of glances over the net, almost picked out that left corner. Just put almost a little bit too much mustard on that one, as there was Jimison there. She has a great, powerful kick. We saw her last year. LSMN went and covered a playoff game between, not a playoff game, but a Hebron versus Marcus, and Jimison was kind of just dominating the Marcus end. And she was kind of had a field day almost. Even though Marcus came out with that one, she was having a field day against that defense. Just almost couldn't finish chances, but she's very talented. And I mean, she's a senior and she's been playing with this team for a while. I mean, she's got herself a great shot. As Hebron tries to work outside here, they got a lot of open field here. Kind of gets closed off quick.
Yeah, see what Hebron can do here for what will be their second offensive possession as they turn it over.
And now Flower Mound's back on the counter. And move this ball back into the center, but a good intercept there by the Hebron line. This ball marks way through the midfield, and Hebron decides to reset as Jimison gives that one back to her defense. And this one's just worked outside as Williams can't move her way up the field. Kind of bit of tight defense on both sides here, not really having any quick opportunities. A couple counterattacks, but shut down quick by some tight defense. And now Flower Mound's on the rush here. Peak gets some open space, and she tries to find Hong in the middle, but can't find her, and this is be cleared out by the Hebron goalkeeper. This one's moved outside into some open space here for Flower Mound. She gives this ball inside, but it can't find a Flower Mound head once again, and it's cleared out by Hebron. Decide to keep this one on bounds is Kylie Martinez. She works back through the middle. That's risky there as it's turned over, and it's some good pressure there on Peak's side. And now this one's coming right back up the field. Oh, what a ball there for Hill, and she has some open space here to score the first one of the night, and she does. What a beautiful finish by Hill, and Hebron's going to get on the board first here. Make this one 1-0 and quiet down that Flower Mound crowd. Jordan Hill, the freshman, gets her 10th goal of the year. Just impressive to see it. It was a great pass from the midfield. She just goes through on the run on that through ball. Has a great finish as Jordan Hill gets her 10th goal of the year, and she's only a freshman, so it's impressive to see there.
Yeah, and you got to be excited if you're Hebron, knowing that she's got 10 goals through 14 games as a freshman.
As Hebron gets on the board early here with 35 minutes to go here in this first half. As Jordan Hill finds the back of the net first for the Hawks. It's 1-0. That one's just worked off the counter. We saw that tight defense early, and they kind of just found a hole in that Flower Mound back line, and Jordan Hill made them pay. It was a great finish to find the bottom right.
For sure, and right now Flower Mound, they've played kind of lazy so far. I mean, haven't really had much going on offense, and right there on that last goal, what should have been someone's defensive assignment, and it was just a chip shot for Hill.
Yeah, what are you gonna want to see? You just want to see him play more aggressive, or what do you think they're gonna want to do here?
I do think you gotta play aggressive until the clock really starts winding down, and then you gotta start focusing more on the offensive side of the game. Because I mean, defense wins championships.
Yeah, that's true. It's the number one phrase in all of sports. You gotta have a good defense, or you won't win many games.
For sure, and I mean, you've seen it tonight. I mean, Hebron so far, they've had the better defense, and they're off to an early 1-0 lead.
Yeah, they've worked that defense off into the offense as that ball is just cleared out in the middle of the field. Great header to set up here, and it's great. Another counterattack chance as Jimison has some open space here on the right side of the field. Makes a good move and makes one miss. Now she's got all kinds of options and gets attacked from behind, and that's a good recovery there by the Flower Mound defense. And now Jaguars have a chance to work off the counter. Game is moving quick. Not really a lot of possession, kind of just going back and forth. As Stenning works her way down the right side of the field. That one's going to get shut down there by Dice, the junior defender for Hebron. Kind of just a quick back and forth type action right now. Not a lot of possession on either side. Not really a possession-oriented game so far. Kind of just counterattack chance after counterattack chance.
Right, and I mean, Hebron just happened to find the gap, and they capitalized.
Yeah, it was a beautiful pass to set up Hill, and it was just a great finish overall. I mean, that's a tough thing. You're 1-0, but I've seen plenty of times where you have a 1-0 and they either flick it over the net or just don't get a good foot on it. I mean, it's hard when you're 1-0 the goalie because you have all the pressure. You're meant to score in that situation.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, it's almost like missing a layup in basketball.
Yeah. But she picked her corner out beautifully and got the early goal there for Hebron. Now they're going to have another chance once again, but it's shut down by that Flower Mound back line.
Yeah, Flower Mound slowly starting to find their foot defensively.
So this one gets turned over in the midfield as we decide to bring it up, and now this one's getting rushed down here. She has an option outright. She decides to use it, and this ball's crossed in, laid perfectly down on the ground, but it's shut down right there. That probably saved a goal because Hebron had a girl right out in front that easily could have just poked that one into the back of the net. But now Cordova decides to take control of it.
So right now, the coach rankings within the girls' soccer, your top 10, number 1, you have Lake Travis. Number 2, Katy Seven Lakes. Number 3, you got the Hebron Hawks. Number 4, you have Allen. Number 5, San Antonio Lee. Number 6, Irving. Number 7, Austin Bowie. Number 8, Prosper. Number 9, Midland. And number 10, the Woodlands, with Flower Mound down at 29.
Yeah, it's definitely tough up there. There's a lot of good soccer teams. Texas is a factory for a lot of sports, especially football, of course, but they've got great girls soccer talent. I mean, even in LISD alone, they're kicking out soccer talent left and right. I mean, Flower Mound and Marcus met in the second to the last round of the state championship last year, so we got great talent all around in LASD.
For sure. And people look at Texas as mainly a football school, and looking around, you got soccer right here and even basketball. Like, some of the basketball teams in Texas could very well compete with some of the private schools around the nation.
As Flower Mound's trying to work up quick here, but good defense by the midfield there. Hebron just shut that one down, but squeaks out there is Hong, and she makes a good pass to the midfield. Here we go, some open space on the left side as they decide to switch the field. Nice to get that ball in. Can't find a pass. So now Pinto has the ball and some space to work with. Decided to switch fields again. Tries to find down low, but just nobody's open, and this one's just cleared out by the Hawks. Flower Mound yet to really create any offensive opportunities. They have almost a little bit more possession as of lately in these past 5 minutes, but haven't really created much out of it right now. And this one's kicked out. And Flower Mound's just going to decide to recycle this one. And so good pressure there where the Hawks almost made a forced a turnover once again, and that would have been a 2-on-1 going straight down at Cordova and net.
So you got Flower Mound coming in with a little bit of open room.
Yeah, Peak made a good pass there. Flower Mound's going to try to work through the midfield again. Peak is open in the midfield there for a pass, but they decide to switch the field. But a good clear out there by Kayla Martinez. Close this one back up to her top line.
They're looking for Hong on that last drive.
Now Hebron's going to retain possession once again. And it's just cleared out by the Jaguars. And now Hebron's going to try to get some of their own possession here tonight. As this one's just going to be cycled back through the back line. Tries to go for this long ball and this switch. Maybe tried to bounce it over there to the left side of the field, but this is going to end up in the hands of Cordova. Tried to find maybe Jordan Hill there on that left side, kind of curve that ball in. This one almost lands in the feet. The Flower Mound almost would have led to a counterattack, but good shutdown once again by this Hebron midfield. They've had themselves a pretty good night, but that's a great ball inside there and almost lands in the feet of Channing, who has 19 goals in the season, looking for her 20th of the season. Almost landed right in her feet and would have had a one-on-one with the goalkeeper pretty much. Would have been a great through ball, but couldn't find her feet, of course. So this one's just going to be picked up and played through. As that's Wittes Hughes, the goalkeeper tonight for Hebron. As the Jaguars decide to work through the right side of the field, see if they go with a give and go here, and they decide to. Tries to find that ball in, and just seems to almost kick off her hand there, but it's just going to be played up through with Hebron, and now Hebron has a chance to work off the counterattack. Finds Jimison in the middle of the field. She tries to go with a beautiful through ball and have some space here on the left side. Once again, it's going to be a one-on-one. See what Hill wants to do here. She tries to kick it back out. It's open shot. It's blocked there by Geekus.
A great recovery right there by Flower Mound. I mean, that could have easily been a 2-0 game.
Yeah, definitely off that counterattack there. Geekus made a good way to get in front of that one and just kind of redirect it out of bounds. But now Hebron does have their first corner kick of the night. Definitely be huge if they can extend their lead to 2 goals here early in this one. See what they want to do off this corner here. Because there's plenty of corner strategies out there. Obviously, it's kind of a difficult thing to score off a corner, especially when Flower Mound stacks the box here. They got every single player on the field moved up into the box, including their forwards. This one's whipped into the back post. That's a beautiful ball, but it doesn't find the head of any Hebron player. It's to be another corner for the Hawks. This one's just going to get rolled out.
And when you look at the Flower Mound team, I mean, they do not have that many seniors, so their future is looking bright, and they were just state champions in 2021. So you got the coaching that can lead you to another state title.
Yeah, definitely. This team is very talented. I mean, you even said it yourself that they're one of their best players is, I mean, a sophomore. You got Channing. I mean, a sophomore scoring 19 goals for you is impressive enough, and just going to have her for another 2 years. That's just going to be great for this Jaguar program.
For sure. And with Hong being a junior, you got one more year with that dynamic duo.
As this one gets whipped in, it's not as beautiful as the first ball, as it's just going to hit the back netting. And now Cordova decides what she wants to do with it here as they move out. They're going to go quick here. Looks like the Jaguars want to move up the field quick, catch the Hawks on their toes. I'm going to try to work this one through the midfield, see if they want to switch the field here. That one's kind of just ricocheted off the head of one of the Hawks players.
And going back to the youth of Flower Mound, I mean, the same can be said about Hebron, with them only having 6 seniors.
That's a great ball there for Hong as she tries to look to whip one in. She tries to cut it back, has some open space here, tries to roll it off the ground, but doesn't find the feet of any Jaguars playing. It's an easy clear for the Hawks. It's a nice little slick move there by Jimison as she tries to go for the long ball to Hill once again, and Hill's almost able to outrun her there, and Farmland's been a little slow on that end tonight. That's about the third chance tonight that Hill has had breaking down that left side. Of course, they had the one goal early off that play on that counterattack, and that's about the third time they've attempted that long ball to Hill. Seems like that's what they're going to want to attack on this Flower Mound defense. Cordova is just going to kick this one out, try to find the legs of Stenning. Doesn't find anyone. It's just going to end up back in her hands.
If you're Flower Mound on this drive, this is the drive where you really got to start to get something brewing. Because, I mean, plain and simple, Hebron has just played the better game.
Yeah, you got to try to get some offensive opportunities up the field. Hebron's been very tight in the midfield, not really allowing Flower Mound to get down the field. And then once Hebron does get the ball, they're very good at those long balls. You've seen it a lot already with Jimison getting that long ball to Hill a couple times. They're really good on making those long passes to set up plays, as Flower Mounds like to go with these kind of just work their way up the field and not really like that long ball opportunity right now. As now Jimison has it again. Makes a couple nice moves. Looks like she's going to commit a foul here, and it's going to be a Flower Mound free kick in the middle of the field, and they're going to want to move quick once again. It's kind of an over-mustard pass there. Not going to be finding the legs in anyone, but it's going to end up back into the Jaguars' legs.
Yeah, Haley Peak, the sophomore, who was just tripped up on that last play.
Haley Peak has had herself a good night in the midfield. Kind of been controlling the play for Flower Mound. She kind of just go for this long pass in here for Stenning, the sophomore forward for Flower Mound. Had herself a couple good runs, kind of just a little too much power on the passes that she's received, and she's not been able to get to them. But good runs nonetheless. It's kind of what you need on your team, is just being able to make good runs offensively. What Hebron wants to do here. They haven't really maintained much possession overall. They've been kind of working off the counter and those, of course, those long ball passes. And Flowermound's been trying to play more of that possession game, but it hasn't really worked out very well early in this one with about 23 minutes remaining here in that first half.
I mean, if you're Flower Mound, I mean, you get through the half, and now you really get a nice understanding of what Hebron brought to the table. You make those adjustments at halftime, you come out, and hopefully we see a new Jacks team. But we still got 23 minutes left in the first half.
Definitely plenty of time to tie this one up or create some chances, kind of just take some positive momentum into halftime as their foul come in right almost about midfield of their attacking side. See if they want to kind of whip this one in once again, is what they did last time with this long free kick. They let Jimison almost scored off this one last time. Kind of just went over the top left of the net. See if they want to attempt that again or try to go for the pass inside to all their forwards down there. As Jimison takes it. This one's going to go into our players, and it falls, but it's not, lands in the feet of Hebron. This one's just going to be kicked out and recycled.
And now we get to see what Hebron can do with a lot more narrow space.
So this one's just kind of kicked around like kickball there for a second. It's going to be a throw-in for the Jaguars. Looks like she wanted to find Jimison down the right side, but wasn't able to get the ball to her. It's a long throw in there for the Jaguars as they try to work upfield. So they tried to find Hong there in the middle of the field, but weren't able to get it as they've decided just to recycle through. Now they're going to switch fields once again. They've been doing this a lot tonight, and that's a great ball in here to Hong, and she has some open space to make a good pass, and she kind of just too far back to her forwards. Let's see if Flowermound can still create a chance out of this one. And they decide just to cycle this one back. Kind of a missed opportunity here, but the ball's thrown back in. Home play, and it's going to be a handball there by Flowermound, and then opportunities lost just like that. Kind of just, that's second time tonight that Hong has kind of missed a pass down the right side. It's kind of uncharacteristic of her as she has 20 assists on the season. I mean, she's lining up the assist totals, so she's definitely going to get her chances. It's just if she can lay one perfect in there, she kind of just too far behind on that last one.
Let's see what Hebron can do on this next possession.
That's a great touch there by Jimison.
They got someone wide open.
With the quick feed, and now some open down the left side of the field. This one's kind of hooked back into Jimison once again. She just can't get back to it. It's kind of just like that tic-tac-toe play of what they're trying to do right now. You saw it on, of course, the first goal, and their past few chances has just been tic-tac-toe. That one there, kind of just go pass, pass, pass. Not really much possession-oriented, kind of just trying to move quick and create chances off that.
For sure, but I mean, they have the people open. I mean, you got them open and you can make that kick. I mean, you 100% go for it.
Yeah, they're doing a good job creating space in that Flower Mound midfield, which is giving them plenty of opportunities to make those passes. It kind of messes up that back line when your midfield is more spread out.
Yeah, one thing that Hebron's doing really well, they're getting a lot more air under the ball. Like trying to finesse it into their players, more going over instead of letting it trail on the ground.
Yeah, those definitely more better because it's, of course, harder to get ahead to the ball than it is to get your foot to the ball. As this one's whipped in from the other side, lands in the feet there of Howard, but she can't really do anything with it. And now Jaguars have another chance to work back up the field quick here. They decide just to slow it down once again. This one's moved up once again. Peak finds an open wing. And this one's moved down the left side here. You got 4 girls coming up as well. And that's a great run here on this left side. See what one wants to do with it. Tries to put it back in. This is going to be great defense there by the Hawks. And it's going to be the first corner of the night for the Jaguars. It's going to be a key corner kick here for Flowerman. They haven't really had many chances offensively, so see what they can do on this one.
But so far, they have liked to work in a lot more shallow space, so we'll see what they can get brewing after this corner kick.
As Ali Pinto sets up to take the corner kick. Whip this one in here. You have Hong, who looks to make herself run in, but it just lands in the space of everyone, and the Hawks were the only one to get their head on it. And now Hebron has a chance to make a counterattack here. Almost a great pass up the line, but it's just going to be a little bit too far out, and they're going to say it deflected off a Flower Mound player, and it's going to be a Hawks throw-in.
Yeah, standing with the great hustle right there.
Got 19 minutes to go here. Hebron Hawks are up 1-0 in this first half. They had an early goal 5 minutes in as Jordan Hill finished a beautiful 1-0. Kind of just picked out that bottom right corner. And this one's turned over in the middle field here. Now Flower Mound has a chance to make something out of it. And they decide to kind of just slow this one down here. So it's working in the midfield is Hong. She tries to do something with it. Excuse me, that's Channy there in the midfield. This one kind of just finds the open space here, and the Hawks are just able to get to it. As now Hong has the ball on the right side of the field here. She decides to cut back and look over her options. As Flower Mound decides to cycle this one through. Maybe try to move this one to the left side. With some good closeout here by Hebron. As Jimison now has created a chance here for the Hawks. Now it's going to be a 3-on-2 coming up here, and she's a great ball in there by. This one just kind of just lays in the feet, and then it just ran over there as Cordova. As Cordova tries to go for that ball, and Jimison tried to make a play on it before she got there, and kind of just ran over Cordova there. There was a great pass in there by Hill. Tried to find Howard there on that right side. She couldn't get to it, so Jimison tried to make a play on it. But instead, she just ended up fouling Cordova there. As Cordova was able to pounce on that ball.
Yeah. Hebron very aggressive on that last Flower Mound possession and ultimately caused a great turnover.
That's probably the key of why they're up so far. They just seem like the more aggressive team.
Oh, definitely. I mean, Flower Mound hasn't shown that aggression, and like I said earlier, if they could get more air under that ball and maybe get more passes over the defenders, I mean, this could be a different ball game.
Yeah, because what we've seen so far is kind of just on the floor, short passes through the midfield and kind of just trying to work their way up. I'm guessing you want to see those long balls in, and kind of what Hebron's been trying to do is those long balls in. I'm guessing you want to see what Flower Mound can do with those as well.
Oh, yeah, definitely, because, I mean, Hebron, I mean, they're getting it right in that breadbasket. And, I mean, if Flower Mound can do exactly what Hebron's doing, I mean, like right there, even though no one was down there, I mean, that would have been beautiful.
Yeah, it would have been a great ball if they did end up having a nice run there by Hong. As this one is 1-0 with 16 minutes remaining here in the first half. This has kind of been all Hebron so far. Flower Mound really hasn't had an answer and not really made anything out of their chances. As the Hawks decide to switch the field here. Just through the middle, there's that long ball once again in for Howard. She's not able to get ahead to it. And Cordova's just going to pick that one up. See what Cordova wants to do here. She decides to take it slow. Gonna land on the midfield, and it's just gonna kind of end up in Hebron's hands once again. It's just like Flower Mound's not doing a great job closing out so far. I mean, Flower Mound's not doing a great job closing out. It just, as you spoke of earlier, it's that aggression they haven't really had tonight.
Sure, and I mean, if there's one positive, I mean, you've gotten Cordova really warmed up.
As this one falls down, and it's almost some space, but Cordova makes a smart play to go out and get it. That one almost fell into a dangerous area. Howard was basically there with Hill, and I mean, that would have just been a 2-on-0 pretty much if she was able to get past Cordova, but Cordova made the good play to come out and get it.
Yeah, Cordova, I mean, it's gotten really warm right now, and hopefully can make an impact on this game if Hebron still gets the possessions that they've been having.
She was the goalkeeper of the year for 6A. She was first team all-district last year as well. I mean, pretty talented. We've seen her a couple times here on LSMN. This one just going to be slowed down here as Flower Mound makes a couple of subs. As Katie Warner comes in for the midfield for the Jaguars. As there's 14 minutes remaining here in this first half.
And over on Hebron, Tati Diaz was named the honorary captain for tonight's game after showing great leadership throughout the week within the Hebron Hawks.
This one's moved up here by the Hebron Hawks, and they have themselves a chance. Ref decides to play on as there's a foul in the middle of the field. It's a great shot there and finds the left corner. What a beautiful shot there on that right side. Ready to pick out her corner and score. That is just a beautiful shot. Some open space on that right side and kind of just cut it back, and Cordova can't reach that shot. I mean, once again, it's kind of just off that counterattack. Jimison had the ball in the middle of the field, and she made a good pass down to the right side, and then it was just a great finish there. So I believe that was Maya Williams with the shot as she cut a, what a beautiful shot that is. She has a defender on her, and she's able to pick out the top left corner, kind of just cut across the field there, and they have a beautiful finish.
And Hebron showing more of that aggression.
So that's Maya Williams with her 4th goal of the year, the senior forward for the Hawks. Now they're up 2-0 with 14 minutes remaining here in this first half. Farmond's got a lot of work to do, and they're trying to work off the counter here. When falls on the feet of the Jaguars. Tries to find this ball inside. Number 5, Pinto. And she's looking for a call. She won't get it. And there's that another chance there for Flower Mound. Kind of just distinguished there by that Hawks defense.
Yeah, just let a little too much on that last possession. I mean, if that was right there in the breadbasket, this would have been a 2-1 game.
So this one just kind of falls inside and kind of tugged back with Pinto, and I'm guessing that's what she was looking for the call. There's a great give and go opportunity here, but it's just too much out of the reach there for the Jaguars, but it will be a throw-in. I mean, it just kind of seems, Dominic, that they've had plenty of chances. I mean, they've had a couple chances here to even tie this game up, even if you could say if they actually scored on their chances. I mean, they just got to be able to finish.
For sure, and I mean, I think it just comes down to, like, Hebron, they've just been aggressive. I mean, we've said it a lot this first half, and I'll say it again. I mean, they're playing the better defensive game. They're playing better on the aggression side. I mean, right now, Hebron knows what's at stake. Hebron looks like they want this game more.
Yeah, Flymount playing just maybe a little bit too laid back. It's just slowed down here as Hebron's going to work their way up the field instead of going for the long ball in. Works to the midfield and now have a run down the left side of the field. But it doesn't find the feet of any Hawks player, and Flymount's just able to recycle this one back through their defense. This one's just turned over in the middle of the field. Yes. No Hawks are almost able to get to it, and it almost lays at the feet of Jimison as the Jaguars seem to just take their time there. Just kind of seems that, I mean, as you said, it's just been almost a bit of like too calm of defense and too calm of offense by the Jaguars tonight, and he would put a lot of pressure on them.
I mean, definitely. I mean, we'll see what Flower Mound can do coming out of halftime. But, I mean, right now, you just try to find something that can work and just go into halftime with momentum. I mean, you've got 11 minutes to work.
Yeah, you got to bring some kind of positives out of this half. You are down 2-0. See if they can maybe scratch out a goal here. Try to make this a 1-goal deficit going into halftime. But as now Hebron has a chance here once again, as Jimison, of course, is going to end up taking this one. She had a couple good balls in. She had 2 earlier. One, she went for the shot almost over the top of that. Other, she tried to lay off, give to her teammates, see what she wants to do with this one. She kind of rockets this one, almost picks out that corner. She almost maybe cut it over almost a little bit more to the left. She might have picked out that corner there. Would have been a heck of a shot. That would have been about 25 yards out.
And there's Hebron with even more of that aggression, and that will cause a turnover.
Kind of just been, I mean, all-out pressure. And, I mean, Farmount doesn't really have an answer for it right now. I don't know if there's something that just wasn't happening today, and it's kind of just been that type of game so far. But They kind of just look a little bit too laid back, and Hebron just looks like they want to win this one more so far to start this one. So this one is just going to land in the hands of Cordova. See if the Jaguars are going to be able to make something out of this. See if they want to work off possession. They've been trying to do that here in this first half. Hasn't worked too well so far. And this kick by Cordova is just going to end up being a throw-in for Hebron.
Hebron has done a great job of neutralizing Jalen Chaney. I mean, we haven't talked about her as much as we thought we'd be talking about her this game.
Yeah, we brought her up at the pregame show, and then we thought we'd be talking about her all night. I mean, maybe score a couple goals, but so far, I don't know, I think I've called her name maybe once so far in this first half, 30 minutes in.
Yeah, I mean, just about a week and a half ago, she was named one of the 8 players of the week in the state of Texas for her 2-goal effort against Plano East.
A talented player. She has 19 goals in the year. The Farmers definitely going to have to wait to get her more into the action in this one if they want to come out of the victory and come out of this 2-goal deficit they have here. Now, Hebron has a chance here as this one's almost lobbed in. Doesn't find any of the legs of the Hawks players, and Farmers just able kind of to clean it up. Hebron didn't really have anyone pushed up there. Couldn't really create a chance.
And there's the Hebron aggression that we've been talking about. I mean, what looked like it could be promising after that Jags turnover, Hebron just gets it like forced back, and it went back to Flower Mound. Now Hebron's got the ball right back.
It's just that constant pressure there. As Pruitt almost had a chance there for the Hawks. She goes to the open wing. Transferred finds down in the corner. See if this one kicks out. What they decide can be a goal kick here for Cordova. Once again, yeah, they're just kind of closing off those passing lanes. It looks like Flower Mound kind of works with those short passes and slowly move upfield and kind of just control this game. But right now, Hebron's playing quick, fast, and they're just cutting off those passing lanes, putting constant pressure on those Flower Mound girls, and it's kind of just been shutting down everything the Jaguars wanted to do tonight.
Yeah, like I said earlier, I mean, defense wins championships, and the defense has been amazing.
Yeah, near
for
perfect
Hebron
to say so far as Flower Mound has someone open on the open wing, and that's a ball whipped in once again. But, I mean, once again, nobody there is for Flower Mound. Now, once again, they have it down on this wing. See what they want to do this time.
Yeah, and as this game progresses, notice whenever the Jags have the ball and there's open space, someone from Hebron is immediately trying to charge that ball. And it's causing turnovers.
As Peak makes a good play in there to Hong, and Hong finds Peak once again in the midfield. He's in the space here. There was a shot attempt there by Chaney. That might have been her maybe first okay chance of the night. She wasn't able to get enough on it to create anything. And this one's just going to be cycled back through here. This one's shot once again. They're kind of just laying shots off, see if they can get any kind of pressure here on Wittes Hughes. There's 6 minutes remaining here in this first half. 2-0 Hebron. After Maya Williams got the second goal of the night for the Hawks. Of course, Jordan Hill scored the first one. As Farmont wants to try to create opportunity here as we're closing in to the end of the first half. I'm sure they want to get a goal back here, kind of take some momentum into this halftime break. This ball's whipped in, but it doesn't find any Flower Mound players, and it's going to be another counter opportunity for the Hawks, but that one's just turned over once again. We'll go see what the Hawks can do.
Yeah, it was a rare turnover that we saw from Hebron, but Flower Mound turned it right back over.
As Diaz tries to find a pass downfield, she doesn't find any Hebron players. As Diaz is working her way through some good fight there, and it's just going to be a foul called on her. Seemed to be maybe a little shove there in the back.
I mean, Ali Pinto, the junior, committed to Notre Dame second team all-district in 2022 for Flower Mound.
So this ball's worked back through the midfield. Again, Hebron's closing up quick. Flower Mound's going to have to start moving that ball a lot quicker if they want to create some opportunities. That's a great ball. Finds some open space there on that left side. Well, that one's just closed off there. Opportunity there by Audrey Varney. I mean, she's been open there on that left side quite a few times tonight. I haven't really made anything out of it, but she seems to be left open. It kind of seems like those switches are where they get their open space in. And that was a great ball in. Kind of set her up there. It just didn't seem like she could get a foot to it in time.
Yeah, Zoe Treacher right there in the corner that Hebron did see, but was a little too late.
So this one just gets kicked out after a long ball, and the Flower Mound defense kind of just kicks that one out of play. As Hill tries to collapse on that one, but Jags get to it first. And once again, here's that constant pressure there by the Hawks. That's Martinez working her way through, looks for a foul, doesn't get it. And now Flower Mound's going to try to wake their way through. That's a great pass there by Hong. See what she wants to do with it. She cuts through the middle, has some open space here for the Jags, has someone open down the left side. That is Varney once again. She's got her space, maybe a give and go opportunity, decides to cut back. That is there's Peak. Middle of the field once again. Hebron doing a good job closing off any passing lanes, not really giving Flower Mound any chance to do anything with the ball here in the midfield.
I mean, you're seeing good ball movement right here by Flower Mound, trying to make sure they don't force that turnover.
As Varney cuts in, she tries to find, I think that's Hong there trying to make a good run. I mean, once again, as I spoke of earlier, I mean, Varney's made some good runs here for the Jaguars down that left side. She's kind of been open a lot tonight, and see if they can utilize that here to end this half out, or even look as that as a bright spot going into the second half. As Hong makes a good play back, and it falls on the feet here of Pinto. So makes a good play back to the midfield. That's a great ball in here to Varney. Varney has some space down the left side, and that one's just kind of blocked there. It's a great block out in front. Didn't leave that ball out in the middle. It's going to be a corner kick once again for the Jaguars, as we're closing in on halftime here with 2:38 remaining here in this first half. Hebron's up 2-0. And I'd like to, while we get the quick second here, I'd like to thank our sponsor, Bubba 33, for catering us food every single broadcast. It's great to have them as they present LSMN Game of the Week every time as this ball is whipped in. Again, once again, not finding any Flower Mound heads out there in the middle of the box.
And now you're starting to see Flower Mound get a little more aggressive.
And Jags playing good here to end out this second half, see if they can create anything out of it. Just back and forth here. Cheney tries to close that one out. Can't get to it, and now it's just going to kind of go all the way back here for the Jaguars as Varney's first to retreat. It's going to end up being a throw-in for the Hawks, too, as she's not able to retain possession there. This is some good pressure there by Pruitt. Got to force that throw-in.
Right now, if you're Hebron, you try to play with a ton of speed in this last minute 35. See if you could try to expand this lead to 3-0 and slowly start running away with this.
Especially with a minute 30, you know, you can do something here and not really almost have to worry about that counterattack if you can hold possession long enough.
Definitely.
Actually, since there's no extra time here in high school play, as soon as that running clock hits 0, it's halftime no matter what happens. As the throw-in attempt kind of just leads to nothing here. Now the Jaguars have a chance here maybe to work up field as they try to move quick, maybe try to get a goal here before halftime.
Yeah, especially in high school soccer, within the last 2 minutes, you start to see a whole new pace of the game. Like just a few weeks ago, the boys soccer team for the Jags, they were up 1-0 against Louisville. Louisville had a quick goal. 30 seconds later, like about 37 seconds left in the game, Flower Mound scores, and they ended up winning 2-1. But, I mean, just having 2 goals in the course of, like, a minute, I mean, anything can happen.
So that ball's played in through the middle field of Pruitt. But Lundy's not able to do anything with it in that midfield for the Hebron Hawks. This ball going to get cycled back here. 20 seconds remaining here in this first half. See if Hebron just kind of want to kill this clock out. Seems like the Jags are almost letting them do such thing. So they kind of just cycle this ball through. As we look here, it looks like the Hawks are going to go into halftime up 2-0. So they kind of just sail this one through. That's definitely just going to be the end of it as we head to halftime here on LSMN Game of the Week. The Hebron Hawks up 2-0 against the Flower Mound Lady Jaguars. We'll be right back here on LSMN Game of the Week for second half coverage.
This week on LSMN Overtime, we'll highlight basketball playoffs from around the district, we'll meet a Louisville athlete who's found her place in an unlikely sport, and we'll check out a new addition to the Marcus Golf program.
Hello, and thanks for watching for LSMN Overtime. I'm Alex Salazar. 4 teams in LISD started the week in the playoff hunt. The Colony and Hebron girls teams were looking to advance in the regional quarterfinals, and Louisville and Hebron were beginning their runs in by district. We begin in Lake Dallas Monday night as state-ranked Hebron faced Little Elm in the third round of the playoffs. Hebron relied on their key players in the first half. In the first quarter, junior center Jordan Thomas led the way for the Lady Hawks with 10 points and dominating play down low. In the second, junior Paris Bradley showed off her aggressive play style with a lot of slashing to the basket. Hebron led at the half 30-26. The third quarter remained tight as Hebron still dominated in the paint. But the game took a dramatic turn in the final 5 minutes of play when Little Elm found their three-point stroke led by sophomore Renaya Hunt. The Lady Hawks couldn't cut into the lead and ran out of time as Little Elm ended the Lady Hawks season and took the regional quarterfinal 65-52. One final note from Monday night's game for the Lady Hawks. Jordan Thomas surpassed 1,000 career points. Thomas averaged just under 14 points a game and was one of the key players leading to Hebron's success this season. We look forward to seeing her add to those numbers in her senior year. Turning to boys playoff action, the Louisville Farmers faced off against the McKinney Lions Tuesday night in the bi-district game. Louisville hit the first three-pointer of the game, ending the first quarter 13-11. Louisville's Rakai Crawford grabbed a turnover midway through the second, but McKinney's offense would get rolling. The score at halftime was tied 23-all. In the third, a Farmer steal from forward Jameer Lewis resulted in a nice dunk that sparked a 12-2 run for Louisville. The Farmers led 37-29 at the end of the third quarter. In the fourth, Crawford would add another three-pointer, stretching the Farmer lead. McKinney couldn't climb back into this one as Louisville took down the Lions 51-43. Next up for the Farmers, they'll take on Arlington Martin Friday night in Grapevine for the area championship. Other scores from this week, despite forcing a lot of turnovers in the first half, Frisco Memorial defeated the Colony Lady Cougars 45-32 on Monday. Meanwhile, Tuesday night, the Hebron boys defense stifled the 9th-ranked Allen Eagles and snuck away with a close win, 51-48. Next up for Hebron, they will travel to Prosper to take on Richardson Friday night. Good luck to Hebron and Louisville as they hope to continue their playoff run. The state wrestling meet was last Friday, and one female wrestler placed in her division. Here's James Trigg with Spotlight.
This week's Spotlight goes out to Alea Brown, a senior wrestler from Louisville High. Brown competed in the girls' state championship wrestling tournament last weekend, where she won the silver in her weight class. Brown went into the meet with 40 wins and just 9 losses. She also earned her 100th career victory at the tournament. Brown is the first LHS wrestler to compete in the state meet since 2015. For LSMN Spotlight, I'm James Trigg.
Thanks, James. Alea Brown wasn't the only Louisville wrestler to go state. Junior Calandria Carter made it all the way to state after only joining varsity 3 weeks ago. Haley Baker has her story.
Calandria Carter started wrestling her sophomore year after she didn't make the volleyball team.
So she had a long way to go.
Her sophomore year, Coach Sumter brought me this very shy, very soft-spoken Calandria Carter. And so my first impressions were, she's got the build. I think she's got, if Coach Sumter is saying she's a hard worker and she's doing what's right, then I trust that. But I honestly didn't know how she was going to fare when we got out there against some competition, because at the end of the day, it's a fight out there on the mat.
Up until 3 weeks ago, KK was competing as Louisville's JV heavyweight, but an unexpected injury suddenly pushed her up to varsity.
My teammate, Tiante, she was in varsity. She got hurt, so that made Coach Brooks bump me up to varsity, and that was very shocking to me. And obviously I was kind of worried for Tiante because the injury was unexpected.
We went to KK and we said, hey, Tiante's out. She's not going to challenge. That means you're in. You're up. And we need you to step up and go to work and do your job. And man, she did more than that.
For moving JV to varsity so suddenly, it kind of gave me the extra push I needed in practice to work extra hard, because being a varsity was very huge. And I'd be seeing the girls that Tiante wrestles, and they were no joke.
KK proved herself in district tournaments and even fought her way to the state championship.
I say I would never thought I would have made it to state. So the fact that I was there now, and it was just crazy to me. I was so happy. I was so excited.
To watch somebody like KK come from a sport and know nothing about our sport and be a little bit reluctant in the beginning to join our sport, qualify for the state tournament and win a match is just phenomenal to me. That kind of growth from nothing to the state tournament is beautiful.
For LSMN Overtime, I'm Haley Baker.
When we come back from the break, we'll look at some Tuesday night soccer action and an addition to the Marcus Golf program. Welcome back. Let's get started with some soccer. Tuesday night, Louisville hosted Capel. Both teams are battling for a playoff spot, which might account for the tight game. 12 minutes into the first half, the Cowboys got on the board. With about 6 minutes left in the half, Louisville senior DJ Kulai got on a beautiful kick, tying in the game 1-1. The second half was more action-packed. Both teams exchanged rapid goals within seconds of each other, including Kulai getting his second goal on this well-placed shot. The game was tied 2-2 late in the second half, with Capel getting a nice header. Louisville answered with a penalty shot from Kulai, giving him a hat trick for the night, and finishing out the game 3-3. In other boys' scores, Hebron traveled over to Plano East, where they won 3-2. The Marauders hosted the Jags, winning on their turf 1-0. Finally, the Colony visited Creekview in a tough match, losing 6-0. Going over to the girls' side of it, Hebron hosted Plano East with an outstanding 5-0 victory. Flower Mound hosted Marcus, where the Marauders won 3-0. The Farmers worked their way over to Capel, where they lost 6-2. Finally, the Colony hosted Creekview, losing 1-0. Marcus head football coach Kevin Atkinson announced his retirement last week. Coach Atkinson had been coaching for 31 years, 21 of those years as a head coach. He spent 6 seasons at Marcus with a record of 43-22. He also began his coaching career in 1992 at Marcus. In recent years, Atkinson had been battling with apraxia and suffered a stroke in 2020. Flower Mound earned some hardware last week at the state swim meet. Helena Pasaisen competed in the 6A state championship. In the 100-yard breaststroke competition, Pasaisen finished in second place, earning the silver medal in the event. Marcus Golf recently unveiled a new practice green on campus. Harley Smith has more.
Marcus Golf is hitting it off this year, being one of the first schools in the state to have this in their program and already having an indoor practice range. Head coach Carrie Gable expanded upon this new addition.
We've been working on it, honestly, for about 2 to 3 years. Once the greenhouse came down a few years ago, I had the idea of trying to create some type of outdoor practice facility for us. Right now, the biggest reason is golf is in a really big boom. A lot of people are playing golf, which means the golf courses are full and they don't want high school teams out there. And so it gives us an opportunity to have a place to practice no matter what day it is.
With all the benefits of this new golfing green, it gives them a new way to practice.
It's really nice. Not a lot of schools have it, so it's fun when it's, nice outside and you don't want to be stuck inside. So
also the outdoor has more range. There's further spots rather than here. You're a lot closer and more compact.
It gives us a lot of extra practice that maybe we don't get in here, which is cool. Kind of elements a little bit more. So it's pretty unique actually. I haven't really seen it at any other schools. It helps for longer chip shots and pitch shots. It kind of helps for placement, and it's just very unique.
We'll see if this new outdoor facility helps Marcus win district, which hasn't been achieved since 2017. For LSMN Overtime, I'm Harley Smith.
We don't have a grad star this week, but we thought this would be a great time to ask you for one. If you know of an LISD alum doing some great things in sports, tag us on Twitter at LSMN Sports. That's all the sports updates we have for this week. Just a reminder, we're always on YouTube, including Tuesday night's Game of the Week, featuring soccer action between the Hebron Lady Hawks and the Flower Mound Lady Jags. The broadcast will start around 7:30. Always working overtime for LSMN, I'm Alex Salazar.
And welcome back here to LSMN Game of the Week. I'm Brendan Selke alongside my partner, Dominic Karki. So, what'd you think of that first half? Second half, first half. I can't speak at the moment. But
all good.
Yeah, 2-0 Hebron. They seem to dominate that first half, about everything.
Definitely. And biggest thing I saw was how aggressive they were. I said that so much during the first half. But, I mean, you just can't avoid it. Like, the aggression that Hebron made, like, their impact was felt, and it shows on the scoreboard.
I mean, yeah, they were kind of just – it just seemed like that constant pressure that they were putting on Flower Mound really just shut down the passing lane, shut down any shooting opportunities they might have had in that first half, even though they were slim. At least they probably had maybe 2 chances at net. I don't think any of the shots got to the Wittes Hughes. But, yeah, they've just been pretty good defensively, and that's created those counterattack chances in which they've scored off twice now tonight. Now we get underway here in this second half.
Flower Mound taking their time, trying to find something.
Seems like that's what they wanted to do most of the night. It just hasn't necessarily worked out. They want to have that possession advantage, but so far, Hebron's kind of just been shutting everything down that Flower Mound has had to offer.
I mean, good old term, slow and steady wins the race. I mean, sometimes it'll work, sometimes it doesn't. Clearly, it is not working tonight for Flower Mound.
The turtle won once. It's in a book. So maybe.
Maybe. Just maybe. Hey, maybe it's them switching sides. Maybe that'll do something.
It's the side of the field. Maybe the field's tilted. As there's opportunity here for Varney, who had a couple chances to make a good pass, and she finds the feet of a Jaguars player, and it just lays in the feet of Peak, and that one kind of just rolls past over the top of the net. And that is the best chance of the night they've had so far. As Haley Peak kind of just puts a little bit too much power on it. But for how little of space she had, that was a pretty powerful shot she got off.
Definitely. And from our angle up here, I thought she was going to hit that top corner.
It's definitely the best chance they've had so far, as Varney finally made a good pass in and laid in the feet of some Jaguars players, and then finally settled down, and Haley Peak was able to put a good shot off as the Jaguars get their best chance of the night early here in this second half.
I'm seeing what Coach Walter, Coach Willett, and Coach Hasso are doing for Flower Mound. I mean, coming out of the gate, I mean, you couldn't tell that this was Hebron's game. I mean, I feel like within the first 2 minutes of this, Flower Mound has had total control.
Yeah, just kind of moving a lot quicker than they were in that first half. See if the second half's a different story here. This ball's moved in the middle of the field, kind of just turned over there by Pinto. And now Hebron's going to try to work off that counterattack, as now Liv Howard comes up that right side. Got herself a pretty good first half for the Hawks. Created a couple chances. Didn't score off any, but definitely put some more pressure on Cordova. So now as Audrey Varney made that good pass over to Haley Peak. Almost set up Cheney. But speaking of Audrey Varney, she's going to be a big key factor here in this second half, I think. She had a couple good chances there in that first half to maybe have some open space down the other side of the field and make a couple good passes. Couldn't really do anything with it. But we saw there when she set up that first opportunity for Flower Mound, it gave them a quality chance. So we're going to need to see a bit too much power on it. Can't tell if she wanted to take the shot there, or was that an attempt to cross that ball in?
I mean, only she knows.
At the end of the day. Well,
and only she has to know.
If we talked to her, she'd probably say it was a shot. It would have been a heck of a shot, 15 yards out.
But would have been a terrible pass if she said pass.
She's going to pick the good side. She decides to kick this one down here to Cheney, who we haven't spoke of much since the intro. Does have 19 goals on the season. We thought we'd be saying her name a lot more tonight. Hasn't really created maybe a couple chances there in that first half. Really hasn't had much to speak of other than that.
Yeah, her brother, soon to be varsity quarterback at Plano West.
So you got some athletic genes in the family, to
Definitely.
say the least.
Dad's a football coach. Mom was a soccer player. I mean, I grew up with the Cheneys. Know a lot about them.
You know, some families just have the athletic genes. You see it all the time in sports where you see, like, two brothers that are playing together or, you know, a mom and a dad. And then speak of, we've had overtime episodes on Maddie Cox, who has siblings that have been in WNBA. I mean, talented all around. So, I mean, you know, athletic genes.
Yep, got Lauren.
All works together.
Good old Lauren Cox, 3rd pick in the 2020 WNBA draft by the Indiana Fever. Didn't really pan out for her.
As Hebron tries to work off the counter here. Once again, but that quick pass couldn't find anybody. Was that Jordan Hill? She tries to get that ball back into the middle.
Yeah, great hustle by Pinto on that last drive, causing the Hebron turnover.
Now here comes Hong down the right side. She tries to work her way through and almost gets that pass off into the middle of the field, but creates a corner chance for the Jaguars. Made that run solely on her own. Gonna cut through a couple Hebron defenders and gonna set up the first corner of the second half here for the Jaguars.
Yeah, now you're seeing Flower Mound get a lot more aggressive. I mean, I think the coaches for Flower Mound, they all saw that Hebron was being aggressive, and they're like, hey, we got to get on that train.
Yeah, and I like this corner idea they have here. We've seen it a few times tonight. Of course, they've had some other corners. They like to get some runs in on the ball. They haven't been able to find any heads in the box so far, but you see that everybody's just running in here to make a good ball. And once again, finally finds a head, and that one kind of just lands in the feet of the Hawks player. See what they call this one here. They're going to call in another corner kick for the Jaguars. You'll see it again here, I'm sure. They like to set up at the back of the box here and kind of just have a bunch of people running in. I'm assuming the perfect spot's right there, that top corner. And there it is once again, and it does finally find the head, and that's that perfect ball. Once again, off that corner special, they had a bunch of people run in and finally finds a head of one of the Jaguars. With 33:51 to go in the second half. As Madison Volotos gets the goal for the Jaguars. She gets her head on finally one of those corners. It's about the 5th time tonight, and it's finally worked.
I mean, much needed goal by Flower Mound right there, and that was just a perfect corner kick. You couldn't have executed that much better.
Yeah, we were talking about the run-ins, and then finally someone's left unmarked in the box. Volotos gets her head on it and scores the first goal of the night for the Jaguars.
And there's a turnover by Hebron. This is not the Hebron team that we saw in the first half. And same goes both ways. This is not the Jaguar team that we saw in the first half, but great for the Jags. I mean, you do not want to be that first half Jags team.
Definitely out here creating a lot more pressure, and now they seem to have all the momentum, and this is exactly what you wanted if you were the Jaguars coming out of the break. Get a goal early, get plenty of time to get that tying goal.
And right now, you gotta get that crowd going, because if you can get that crowd going, that creates such a competitive advantage. But tonight, looks like you got a tough crowd.
They're still down in this one, have plenty of time come back into this one.
Yeah, great save by Hong right there.
Keep that ball in. It's a good run through the middle of the field here. As Peak is able to find the inside to Hong, but she turns this one over. Seemed to almost go off the arm there, but ref didn't see it, and it's a turnover once again. Here as Peak works her way in.
Yeah, Flower Mound did not look ready to get that ball right back.
As Channing tries to work her way through, and it's going to be another corner opportunity here for the Jaguars. Going to get their second opportunity from the corner and get their second goal of the night from that corner spot. See if Hebron can mark up this time and not leave Volotos open. Seems to be that back corner that she got that perfect header in. to assume they want to do the same thing in here, set up a bunch of runs inside the box. Ball whipped in once again, and this one just has a little bit too much power. Just kind of lands back on outside of bounds on the other side of the field.
Hey, if you're Flower Mound, I mean, you are riding this momentum.
Yeah, even with your missed corner, you still got to go with it. I mean, you have all the momentum right now. Hebron seems a little bit lost here, as they've had a couple passes in the midfield where they've made uncharacteristic turnovers, as they didn't have in that first half. See if they can settle down here and kind of take control of the game once again. This one's just kicked up and finds the feet of a Jags player once again, but it's turned over in the middle of the field here, as Jimison makes a good ball down this left side of the field here to Howard, but it gets cut off there by Velotos, who's already had herself a heck of a second half. Be a foul here, and it's going to be a Flower Mound free kick. Backside of the field, she moves this one up.
I mean, both teams, I mean, they came in with a lot of momentum. I mean, on Max Preps, Hebron's ranked 10th in the state and 29th nationally, and the Jags are ranked 11th in the state and 26th nationally.
Yeah, these are two very talented teams. As we spoke of, this LASD is very good at producing girls soccer talent as well as boys soccer talent. We have some good teams at the top of the district here for LASD. As you know, Marcus is one. Hebron's a close second. They can catch Marcus in first if they can end up winning this one.
I mean, that's going to be the team to beat for these two squads playing. Like, can you get the statement win against whoever, and then will you be able to respond and potentially outdo Marcus? Because, I mean, as great as both Flower Mound and Hebron are, I mean, there's no denying that Marcus is, without a doubt, the best girls soccer team in the district.
You can see it, and they've proved it. They've beat Hebron. Hebron and them split their meetings this season, but they did come out on top the last match of the season between the two.
Yeah, and then with Flower Mound, you had a tie at 0-0 and then a 3-0 loss to Marcus, your in-city rivals.
The Battle of the Mound, the great rivalry of LASD.
Yeah. And it gets pretty chippy at times.
It's a Battle of the Mound. It's a funny thing is, I don't know how many people in Flower Mound know about the Mound, but it's located there. I'm pretty sure the football team gets to like place their flag on the mound once they win. I think that was something that went on. I don't know if that's still a thing here. As Cheney kind of gets her third shirt of the night, she works down the left side of the field. Not really getting a good shot off, but I mean, I guess they're just trying to get some shots on Widdis Hughes here, trying to force her some pressure as she didn't really face anything.
Definitely, and I mean, if you could start creating that momentum, but the biggest thing that you gotta watch, making sure you get quality shots and not the quantity. Because once you get a good amount of quantity, you're going to get that goalie warmed up, and I mean, it's just going to be a lot of sloppy soccer.
As this one kind of just falls on the feet here, and the Jaguars have a chance, but a good clear out there by the Hawks, and that shuts down a chance there for the Jaguars. But it will be another throw in here for the Jags, who seem to have all the momentum here. 12 minutes into this second half, 28 minutes to go.
Hey, like we said a few moments ago, maybe that field is tilted.
Hey, it was designed tilted by 40 degrees. Ball runs down here and off the volley. A great opportunity for the Jaguars right in the middle of the field. Tried to create something out of nothing. It would have been a beautiful shot. Probably one of the best goals I've ever seen. Pinto in the middle of the field kind of get that volley shot off. Just kind of kicked it up to herself and almost finished that off in the top corner.
And let's see what Hebron can get going on their next offensive possession.
This one's just slowed down here. But yeah, the ball kind of just falls in the middle of the field there. And you didn't really think anything was going to happen. And then Ali Pinto just comes out of nowhere and sets up kind of a volley kick and almost scores off it.
And now you're seeing that pressure from Flower Mound. Very similar to what we saw with Hebron. Like, once they get that ball, there's someone almost right there. And that almost caused a turnover.
This is the turntables have turned, as once Michael Scott said. Great guy. Great guy. I'm just... Hey, the tables have turned. That's maybe the right way to say it, but Michael Scott does seem like a smart human being. But all the pressure is shifted here for the Jaguars as they have some open space in the midfield. Has Peak there. She cycles back. It's going to be a foul here in the middle of the field. And they're going to have Cordova take it. I like this strategy. This is going to be, have your best probably kicker on the field, kick this ball downfield, and maybe hope for this one to bounce in.
However, she's got to get back really quickly because, I mean, it is a huge risk.
You're going to run all your 50 yards back as Maya Williams takes control of this. They try to work down the side, and that's some good pressure there by the Jaguars.
Yeah, nice shot by Cheney to get that out and get Cordova back in that net because, I mean, once Hebron got that ball, I mean, it was go time for Cordova to get back in net.
There's a nice little flick up there by Hill, and this one might set up something for Howard. Howard has the ball in the middle of the field here, tries to dump it off to the left side. This one's just lobbed in. Howard finds it once again. Seems to be all over it right now. Gets off to Williams. She's kind of kicked outside of where Jimison is. Doesn't find anybody. See if Jimison can get to it. As she does.
Yeah, a great adjustment I've seen by the Jags. I mean, they're a lot more aware on defense. I mean, they know that they're going to try to float that ball over, get a lot of air under that ball, and just being aware of who's that going to and just breaking it up before it even starts.
They seem to be a lot more closed in and compact on their defensive end here in the second half. Not really, even I don't think has had a quality chance, if any chances here in the second half so far. As 15 minutes have gone by here in the second half, which leaves 25 to go. As Flowermount gets one here in this, again, as Velotos gets a header off a corner. As she scored her first goal of the year here, and a big game here for Flowermount. As this one's just cycled back through Hebron and their defense. Again, you just see the pressure that the Jags are putting on here. They got 5 girls up against the 4 Hebron players, but the Hawks are able to get it out and work this ball through the midfield. But there's that turnover once again, and now the Jags have a chance. Trying to lay that one back off into the middle there for Peak, but it doesn't find anybody. This ball is kicked back down again. Seem to be playing a little bit of kickball here, but it's finally settled down here by the Hawks, and now they have their chance up the field. And it doesn't go anywhere. Now Pinto has a chance for the Jaguars as we go back and forth.
You got Cheney on the left side. If you can get that perfect kick, she's going to get that into the net.
Now we're working through the right side here. The middle of the field tries to cut back, but it doesn't really find anybody. There it is once again, kind of just a missed crossed opportunity. You've seen that a few times tonight by the Jaguars. It's not really finding any legs in their passing end.
I mean, if you're Hebron, I mean, you're not panicking just yet. I mean, you take that ball in. I mean, you try to just kill clock at this point.
They're definitely having some issues right now in this half, but they got to maybe settle down here, maybe try to control maybe some possession, but they know they have the goal advantage still.
Yes, and the biggest thing, in my opinion, that separates the good teams from the great teams, in-game adjustments, and doing it really, really effectively.
Definitely, especially in a game like soccer, you don't have those pauses like you do in football where you can just mid-play just be changing things left and right. Here in soccer, you got to move quick and you got to make your adjustments on the fly, and halftime becomes even more critical.
Yeah, kind of like improvising in theater.
Yeah. Hey, I can't improvise in theater. I might be able to make some adjustments on the soccer field, but
oh, neither can I. That's why I quit.
It's okay. You don't want to see me and do theater stuff. That'd be pretty funny. See me sing. Watch me sing. That'd be comical. With 22 minutes to go here in the second half.
All right, let's see if Hebron can get something cooking right here.
Yeah, they really haven't had much to speak of here in the second half. See if they can maybe work off their fast momentum they were playing with in the first half. They haven't really done much of it here in that second half. This one's just headed away by the Jags and then just kicked around. Like they're going to give this one back to Cordova. Cordova just kicks it through the middle.
Yeah, a little too much power there.
Yeah, kind of just bouncing around. That looked like it went off a hand, but maybe not, as Peak makes a good play into the midfield.
Yeah, great recovery by Flower Mound right there.
Have a good run there by Varney on the left side. But
costly turnover. You got 3-on-2 right now if you're Hebron.
Turn it over and a great run here, and another great ball here on the left side for Hill. And Hill makes a shot, and she finds the corner, ranks off the post. Ooh, and a great pickup there by Cordova off the post and able to regather herself.
Tough break if you are Flower Mound.
And that's a great shot too. Picks out the corner, but just gets too unlucky, and it's too much one to one side, and it ricochets off like a pinball off that bar, of course, and Cordova makes a good play to get back to the ball.
Yeah, and that's like the worst feeling ever if you play soccer. And like I used to play
post
hockey.
Hit, that ding.
I used to play hockey, and honestly, the same thing with soccer. If you hit that post on what should be a goal, I mean, it
hurts. That turnover here, you can see by Peak in the midfield, and then Jimison just makes a good run. You can see here, and it just lays it off perfectly to Hill. And Hill makes a good shot, and it just ricochets. It's even off the inside of the post there. That's probably even worse. You know, you just missed it too. Yeah, as you're speaking of, that the ding in hockey, the crossbar hit in soccer, oh, it's all the worst. That one kicks off the head of Howard here, and now she has a chance.
Yeah.
That's probably very unlucky. That probably just shows how the Jags night is going so far. Kind of just ricochets off the head there of Howard.
Yeah, I mean, and I want to go back to the goalie kick that Cordova just had. I just want to take a second and appreciate how awesome that kick was. Like, that kick went so high.
The Majestics. It's just, she's had herself a good night, too. That's going to be a clutch moment in this game. If the Jags can tie this one up, is remembering that she got back on that ball that went off the post. Now the Jags have themselves a chance here. Has Varney open once again. Spoke of earlier, she's going to have to make some good passes in this one. As Chaney, that's actually Hong down there on that left side. And now the Jaguars will get a throw in here.
Yeah, I got about 20 minutes left in this ball game.
As we get closer here, Flower Mound's just going to become more and more urgent, which is going to open up some space for the Hawks maybe to work off the counter even more. So this ball kind of just bounced around. A good play by Hong to get some open space here, and she has someone running down the right side of the field.
And Flower Mound just trying to reset it a little bit.
A smart idea there, as this one's just going to fall on the feet of Geekus. As this one's whipped in here, and that one almost fell on the feet there of Bella Larson. It's going to be picked up. The Hawk, we're going to have here we'll see what they want to do. Work through the midfield again. It's just going to land on the head of a Flower Mound player, and now Jags have themselves a chance with some open space. Can't find anyone there as Peak, as she can't find a good pass to make, but it's still going to be turnover once again, and now Peak has a chance for the Jaguars as she works down the right side, and she takes a shot, and it's what a save there by Willis Hughes. Oh, my goodness. Sprawling to her left, and she makes this excellent save.
Oh, I don't think anyone here was expecting that to be a shot. You were out at like the 20, 25-yard line.
You were out of that 18-yard box by at least 5 yards.
But, I mean, hey, if you see that opportunity, you go for it. Because now what you just did, you just got everyone looking at what's going to happen. Yeah. You got everybody excited.
As this corner's whipped in here once again. Might find the head of another Jags player, but it's good coverage there by the Hawks this time around.
Yeah, a little too high right there.
That, again, both goalies, both sides of the field in the past 5 minutes alone have made 2 clutch plays to keep their teams in this one, at least for Cordova's end, and then Willis Hughes is keeping this one a lead. So just whipped in. It does find the head of a Jags player, but just not able to get the perfect aim on it to finish it off.
And to an extent, if you are Flower Mound, you can't keep relying on those corner kicks.
This one gets turned over there. Kind of just a bad pass there. It's going to be another Flower Mound throw-in. It seems to be almost crumbling down here on the Hawks.
Yeah.
Getting a lot of pressure.
And Flower Mound's worked really well in shallow space.
So it's worked back around into Varney. Forney works her way back inside, and a good move there by Larson. And Larson takes the shot, and this one bounces, ricochets off. It's almost cleaned up there.
You're seeing a lot more shots from deep. I mean,
yeah, they're just letting shots go at this point.
I mean, they're trying to get Wittes Hughes to, like, maybe just try to catch her lacking. Like, I mean, if you could just catch her, like, right when she isn't expecting it. Because, I mean, those last 2 kicks, I don't think either of us were expecting that.
Yeah, those were 2 good shots, too. Both had to make good saves there. This one's moved on the left side. Will Hong get to it? And she does. She wants to cross this ball in, and she decides to, and it finds the foot, and it's just a little bit too much power. Tries to go with the one touch, and that's Cheney trying to find her 20th of the year to tie this one up. And it just goes a little bit too much over.
I mean, Cheney wants that one back for sure, but
yeah,
hey.
Maybe if she settles that one down. She had a little bit of space, but either way, if she maybe just put a little less power on it, she might have got it just under the bar.
Maybe. We'll never know.
Now it's a mystery, and now the Jaguars are going to have to create some more chances. They got 15 minutes and ticking, of course, in this second half, as they did get one earlier by Velotis off the beautiful header in the corner.
If you're Hebron, you can bend the bar as much as you want, as long as it doesn't break.
Yeah, it's bend, don't break defense here for the Hawks as they try to work off the counter here, try to get this game out of reach and make it 3-1. It's a shot from too far out, and that one just misses a solid 10 yards even. 10. He's trying to get a shot off there, try to create maybe an opportunity because they haven't had much. This ball is just going to be cycled back out. Worked through the right side. Not really finding the feet of any Jags players, but finally putting some pressure on it there is Larson. But Hawks are able to work through the midfield. Almost a good setup, but goes behind Hill instead of in front on our run.
All right, if you're Cordova right here, you got to make sure you don't overshoot your players.
And you can see she was communicating there. She does get a little bit too much power on it, but almost finds the head of one of the Jaguars players. Oh, bouncing around. Howard tries to set it up, but that's a great play there on the defensive end to shut that one down.
And right now, if you're the Jaguars, I mean, unpopular opinion, I think you take your time on this a little bit. I mean, momentum's going your way.
And now the counter down the left side of the field here for Larson. See if she can whip this ball in. She tries to cut back, find a pass in the middle there. That is Cheney. Cheney tries to cut back and just gets swallowed up, but leaves the space and gets some curl on it. Almost curls it into that bottom right corner. She's had 2 great chances in the past 3 minutes alone. Almost curls that one into the bottom right.
I mean, if you're Flower Mound, I genuinely think you got to take your time because, I mean, momentum's going your way. If you could just ease your way into it and try to find the little gaps that Hebron's giving you, just attack them, have a great game.
And here comes a run here by Hebron, and that one's just going to be headed out there by Velotis. But, yeah, they're working off this left side very well this half. Every chance they've had has come off this left side, whether it's Larson making a good ball in or Varney making a good ball in. This left side seems to be working for him here in the second half. As now Hebron tries to get some possession here. As Maya Williams makes a good pass back out to the side. See if they want to switch the field here. Have a run down the right side of the field. Just almost a little too little on that pass. And Hong's going to be able to clean that one up. She's looking for a pass inside. Cuts it back in the middle. Dangerous there, but almost able to find somebody. And look here for Larson as that's going to be shoved down, and that's going to be a foul called there as Payne Dyes just gets shoved down there by Larson. You can tell that it was just a soccer play. Trying to get that ball, because if that loose ball and Larson was able to get to it, there would have been a break there for Flower Mound.
Yeah.
Probably easily would have been able to tie this one up.
Yeah, and good sportsmanship right there by Bella Larson, the sophomore. Going back, making sure that she was okay. And right now we're just continuing.
Going to be a free kick here about the 35-yard line. This one's going to be whipped in here. Try to move this one off to the left side, but a great header there by the Jags as they try to work up. This ball is just left in the middle of the field here. It's a great, almost almost a great pass, but doesn't really find any of the feet of the Jags players. Which trying to go a little long ball in there for Howard, but doesn't find anyone. Cordova just scoops it up. Cordova's going to take her time here once again. All the pressure's on the Hawks to keep this lead right now. Jags have played much better here in the second half.
Ooh, costly turnover right there by the Jags.
Yeah, as Varney's not able to get to that over-pressured pass. See what the Hawks want to do here.
It's slow. I mean, once that clock gets to a certain number, I mean, that's when you got to go, like, full speed.
Yeah, we're definitely ticking down here with 11:18 left here in this second half for the Jaguars to tie this one up for a crucial win here tonight between Hebron and Flower Mound.
Ooh.
A great header there to clear that one out.
A little more errand than that, and you had Cheney one-on-one with the goalie.
And Hong tries to set up something here down this left side. Makes a good run, gets past her defender, has some open space here down the left side, almost able to get the ball in, but it will be another corner here for the Jaguars. If they've already scored off one here in the second half, going to get another chance. I've created some good opportunities here so far on their corner attempts.
Definitely, and I mean, if you need a corner kick to just go in, I mean, this is the one that you need. Like, just to get that momentum.
Corner gets taken.
Like, going full speed.
And there's the header, but doesn't really have any good mustard on it or accuracy. And it just misses by a couple feet.
Yeah, kick was a little too out. Couldn't really get much going for the Jags.
Yeah, it kind of just didn't hook enough back into the back of the box. As we got just ticking into 10 minutes remaining here. The Hawks are up 2-1 after 2 goals in the first half by Jordan Hill and Maya Williams.
Yeah, after Hebron, 10 more minutes, and you get a really nice win.
And then the Jags were able to get one back by Velotis with a header with 33 minutes remaining in this second half here. And now Flower might have another chance, but that's going to be offside as she never came back and extended her position onside. It's going to be another free kick here for the Hawks.
Very curious to see where the rankings will go for whoever wins this game, because if Hebron wins this, I mean, they could very well be in the top 5 of rankings everywhere.
Yeah, and they swept Flower Mound too. I mean,
yeah, but if Flower Mound wins, I mean, that could be a major push for them and maybe get into the top 6.
Yeah, the thing there is that would mean that Hebron has played against the best against Marcus and Flower Mound. If they're able to beat Flower Mound here, they swept Flower Mound, and then they lost one and won one against Marcus, which would be better than what Marcus did and, of course, Flower Mound.
For sure.
And these are big games because these are the type of teams you're going to be playing when you get into the playoffs.
Definitely.
So that one kind of just, it's cleared out there by the Jags, and they're going to kill as much time as they can, just slowly picking that one up. But rolled out quick.
Quick pressure right there by the Jags to hopefully cause a turnover.
And there it almost is. She did a push on it, and she didn't there by Peak. Peak's putting some good pressure on right now.
Molly Lundy, the junior midfielder, did a great job of making sure she did not turn that ball over. I mean, the amount of defenders that she had to avoid with the pressure that they were giving, I mean, that was amazing work by her.
It's going to be a throw in here for the Jaguars. 8 minutes and ticking. Clock just seems to be moving faster and faster here for the Jaguars. They're going to have to figure something out here quick if they want to tie this one up.
Definitely.
As Varney takes the throw. Just find inside. It's going to be kicked out. It's going to be a Hawks throw. And, of course, the Hawks moving slow. Going to try to kill their time here. Up 2-1. Haven't had much of a successful second half. Not a lot of pressure offensively and a lot of sitting back and playing defense. Jaguars have came out strong here, trying to get this game tied back up. Might have a chance here as there was a quick turnover, but didn't look like Pinto was going to be able to get enough on the pass. So now Maya Williams has a chance. Break out here, and she finds someone open on the left side. She runs over and tries to find Howard, but just too much on it to give Howard any space to work with. It's closed off by that Flower Mound back line. Here's Barney once again. Finds someone open in the midfield. A great pass. Some open space once again. Now a lot of space to run as Ali Pinto. See what she wants to do with this. Makes a good move to get by, but a good shutdown there for the Hawks defense. They just kick that ball out and force a throw.
Let's see what Coach Vaughn's squad can do with Hebron.
This ball gets thrown in, just kicked away by that Hawks team, and now they're going to have a chance to work back up here. They're going to move through the middle here. That is Hill. She makes a good ball into Howard. See if Howard can get on top of this one, and she does. She has some open space down the right, and she takes the shot, and it's a great save by Cordova just to snag that one out of the air. Kept the Jaguars in this one with 6 minutes to go. This ball just kind of kicks away here. And just a good close off there by the Jags. Even putting a little bit more pressure on here, late to go, but here comes the Jags with an opportunity. A great ball and a great run here. Goalie's going to have to come out and make a play here, and she does.
Yeah, led a little too much right there for Hong, but ooh, if Flower Mound got to Hong, I mean, she's a dangerous girl to try to stop.
As the clock keeps on ticking here. We have 5:40 left here in the second half. 2-1 Hawks. This ball kicked away and it'll be another throw-in for the Jaguars. Remember that clock, as soon as it hits 0, there is no extra time. That is the end of the game. This one's kicked around. Here's Peak, finds some open space for Pitt. Oh, and she takes the shot, and it's saved there. Just not enough on it to make goalie make a lunging save. But another good shot by Pinto in the midfield.
Definitely, and I mean, Flower Mound, you got to get that quality opportunity like I was telling you guys earlier. I mean, it doesn't matter the quantity of the shots. It matters how quality the shots are.
It's going to be another foul here on the Jaguars. As Hebron is definitely going to try to milk as much clock as they can here. Have that slim advantage of 1 goal with 4:40 left here in the second half, coming down to the wire. This ball's kind of just kicked around him. Now Williams has a chance. She takes the shot, and that one just misses right. Would have had her second goal of the night there. That would have just definitely put the nail in the coffin for the Hawks. One kicked out by Cordova. And he tries to make a header on it, but doesn't get a touch on it. And Hebron still has a chance here. They kick this ball back in, but it's just going to find the feet of a Jags player, but she kind of just kicks it away and turns it right back over. So now Varney has it under control. She kicks this one upfield, knowing how desperate of little time there is left. They're just trying to move upfield. Would be a clutch opportunity for Jalen Chaney, who we spoke of in the open, to make her presence known. That was a good header almost to set her up. It's a lead to anything. Another throw in here by Varney. 3 minutes and 30 seconds left here in this second half. Throw-in doesn't have enough on it to get open space. And Haley Peak tries to make a play on it, but she can't. And Pinto with a good play to move this ball back around into the midfield. Puts some space to the right, ricochets around. Peak tries to put a header on it, but another clear there by the Hawks. Some good defense here, and now Howard has the chance. Say that's a foul there by the Hawks, and it's going to be a free kick here for the Jaguars. Chance here kind of just to put this ball in.
Yeah, that clock is winding down. Got 2:47 left in this game.
As now looks like Varney's going to take the kick here, trying to whip this one in. As the clock keeps on ticking, 2:30 to go here. Hawks up 1. Varney whips this one in and kind of just almost a shot. Probably would have been the better option to go for the pass. Is just easily picked up.
Yeah, kind of thrown to like that little no man's land of where all the Jags were.
This one's just going to go straight to a Jags player, though, and falls in the feet of Peak. Peak has some open space there, tries to get off to Hong. Hong can't find anybody. It's a good play by the Hawks to open up some space here down the right side of the field. Cleaned up by Vlotez. Jaguars got to move quick here now. They got to get the ball down the field. Only have 2 minutes to go. But that kick goes to no Jaguars, and it's going to be easily picked up here. The Hawks killing as much time as they possibly can. Flower Mound has 1:40 left to tie this one up. Now Haley Peak gets the foul called, and we're going to have another free kick opportunity here for the Jaguars. See if they want to pass this one off instead. They're going to bring Cordova up. Definitely the risky situation, but with what the score holds right now, this is definitely the smartest thing to do.
I mean, if you're Cordova, I mean, if everything fails, I mean, you got to dash.
We got to move quick here. She had missed position on the ball. As Cordova takes the kick here. Let's find some open, but a great header on the box by the Hawks. And this one's just cleared out. It's going to be a throw in here for the Hawks. 50 seconds to go and ticking. Flower Mound knows they're on their last breath here. They might have one more opportunity.
And this is when you let everything go. Like, this is when you got to turn on the burners. This is when you got to be as aggressive as you can on defense.
Everyone's going to move up quick here as we have 30 seconds to go in this one. This one's just going to ricochet out for a throw-in. Will they have enough time? 20 seconds to go.
Yeah, Hebron trying to take their time.
Hawks just moving quick, of course.
Yeah, Flower Mound
laid down in the box. No Flower Mound players are there to pick it up. 5 seconds to go, and it's kicked down on the feet. Not able to find anyone. It's just going to be cleared out by the Hawks, and that's going to be the end of it. The Hebron Hawks win this one 2-1. 2 goals by Maya Williams, and Hill win this one in the first half. It's just a great game overall. I mean, Hebron's going to definitely moving up the rankings of the state and the districts, of course, and getting a crucial 3 points here tonight.
Definitely. And if you're the Jags, I mean, you got to figure out how to rebound this. I mean, your 2 biggest rivals, especially in girls soccer, I mean, you haven't, like, all you have to show for it is a tie against Marcus. So, I mean, just figuring out something before the playoffs start and, I mean, just seeing what you can do.
Yeah, carrying that momentum into the playoffs. That's all we have for LSMN Game of the Week here tonight as the Hebron Hawks win this one 2-1. And a big shout out to our director, Haley Baker, as well as our technical director, Harley Smith. And thank you to our producers, Patrick Beals and Brandon Jackson. And then for everyone else here at LSMN Game of the Week, we'd like to thank our sponsor, Bubba's 33. I'm Brendan Selke, alongside my great partner, Helmrich Forkey. It was great having you tonight.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for joining us tonight, and good night. Hebron Hawks win this one 2-1. Good.
Order, order.